Welcome to Pattern and Craft. I'm Courtney, and in today's video, I'm going to demonstrate how to knit this beautiful little textured star stitch. I'm calling this the diagonal star stitch because it does create these cool left-leaning diagonal lines as you knit it. It's a really cool little stitch, and I came across it on one of those shorts on Instagram where they just kind of show a really cool stitch, but it's not a tutorial because it doesn't have any explanation, any description, and they don't show all of the rows required or the reverse side. So I thought I would figure out how to knit it and then share it here with you in case you would like to use this in your knitting. It's a really easy knit stitch, so it's only a 4-stitch repeat and only a 4-row repeat. Also, all of the complex knitting is done on the right side, and the back side is just straight purling, or if you're working in the round, every other row would be just straight knitting, which is kind of nice because I've seen other tutorials for star stitch where you work them on the reverse side as sort of a purl stitch, but here we're going to be working them on the right side. And as far as materials, I'm using a 3.5mm needle, and I'm pairing that with this beautiful soft yarn called Serena from Manos del Uruguay. It's a baby alpaca Pima cotton. It's really soft and really lovely with, as you can see, good stitch definition. And for the stitch count, you're going to want to cast on multiples of 4. And if you're knitting flat, then you would also want to add an extra 3 stitches plus your edge stitches. For me, I'm using a 2-stitch edge stitch on each side, so that adds 4. So I need to cast on multiples of 4 plus 7. So if you'd like to follow along, that's what you should do as well. And then if you're knitting in the round, you simply just need to do multiples of 4. The edge stitch I'm using is the Neat Edges Beautiful Edge Stitch for knitting. I'll include the link in the description for that specific video, or you can just follow along with what I'm doing in this video. All right, now I'm going to start with a right side row, row 1, and I am going to start with my edge stitch, but if you're doing a different edge stitch or if you're working on the round, adjust accordingly. So for my edge stitch, I slip one with yarn in front, and then knit 1, and then I'm ready to work the repeat for this pattern. So we're going to start with a star stitch, and the way we work that is we slip 1 knitwise, and then we return this stitch right back to the left needle. That just changes the mount of the stitch so that the left leg of the stitch is in front now instead of the right leg, so it's mounted in the reverse direction as usual. And then we're going to insert our needle into the 3 stitches on the left needle in the back loop. So your right needle will be behind the left needle through all 3 stitches purlwise. And then we're going to knit 1 through the back loop. Hold on a second. Sometimes it's hard to catch that first loop. There we go. So knit 1 through the back loop, but don't release these 3 stitches off the left needle yet. Keep them on there. Yarn over, go back into those 3 stitches again, and knit again through all 3 in the back loop. And then you can take your stitches off the left needle and let them fall. And that is the star stitch. It uses 3 stitches and then it creates 3 stitches. So it's not a decrease or an increase. All right, next we're going to just knit 1. We're going to basically be repeating a star stitch and a knit 1 all the way across. Here we go again for the star stitch. I'll show that a few more times. Remember, the first step is to slip 1 knitwise and return to the needle. So this stitch is the opposite mount of standard. Then insert your needle into all 3 of the next stitches on the needle. In the back loop, knit, yarn over, and knit again through all 3 stitches through the back loop, and then you can let them come off. And then knit 1. So that's just the repeat all the way across. Star stitch, knit 1, slip 1 knitwise, return to the needle, knit 3 through the back loop, yarn over, knit 3 through the back loop again, and finish. Knit 1, star stitch. It is a little fiddly till you get the hang of it, and of course it's always harder to do on camera. Knit 1, and then we're going to end, if we're working flat, we're going to end with a star stitch. So here I have, if we ignore edge stitches, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 repeats, and then we're just going to do a star stitch to finish. So flip, knit through the back loop, yarn over, knit again, and off. And then I'm just going to work the edge stitch on the left side of my work, which is slip 1 with yarn in front, knit 1, and then we're finished. If you're knitting in the round, you would just do the star stitch, knit 1, repeat all the way around. All right, for row 2, we're going to turn our work. If we're knitting flat, if you're knitting in the round, just go ahead and knit 1 round, just straight knitting every stitch. Since we're knitting flat, we need to do an edge stitch. And my edge stitch again is slip 1 with yarn in front, knit 1, but you can do whatever edge stitch you prefer. And then we're simply going to purl across every stitch on the back side. So it's a pretty easy row 2. Just purl all stitches all the way across. And yes, my purls are a little bit unusual. I do continental knitting, but something like a hybrid Portuguese purl. So if you're curious about my purling, I do have a video on that, but you can purl any way that you like. It works just fine the normal way. And when you are purling these little star stitches, you might notice, so here's one of our knit stitches from the other side, so we're just going to purl that. And when we come to a star stitch, it's going to be the reverse side of our knit, our yarn over, and our knit. But we're just going to purl those all just as usual. You don't need to purl the back loop for the yarn over or anything like that. Just purl it as it comes up on the needle. And then for our left side edge stitch, it's slip 1 with yarn in front, knit 1. So for row 2, for flat, it's just edge stitch, purl all the way across, and then edge stitch. If you're working in the round, you would have just done a row of knitting, just knit every stitch. Now we're ready to do row 3, which is right side again. And all we need to do is the same thing we did for row 1, but offset. So for that, we're going to work our edge stitch, which is slip 1 with yarn in front. Oops, my stitch here dropped, so let me fix that really quick. There we go. And then knit 1. Now here we can see we have the 3 stitches of the star stitch from row 1. We're going to knit 2 of those. We want to start our next star stitch in the 3rd stitch. It's a little hard to see, but here's the center of our star stitch, and then it goes out 1, 2, 3, like that. We want to knit these 2 and then start our next star stitch with this stitch, the 3rd stitch. So 1 and 2, and then we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to slip 1 knitwise and put it back on the left needle. Insert our needle into the next 3 stitches through the back loop, and then knit, yarn over, knit to create a star stitch. Then knit 1. It's the same repeat as row 1. We just start it in a different spot. So twist that stitch, knit, yarn over, knit through the back loop, star stitch. Knit 1, twist the stitch, knit, yarn over, knit. So it's the same repeat, just with a knit 2 before we do our star stitch, knit 1, star stitch. All right, so knit, yarn over, knit through the back loop for the star, knit 1. I have room for one more star stitch, so knit, oops, sorry, yarn over. Oops, if that happens, if you drop your stitches, just go ahead and pick them right back up. You can still complete your star stitch. There you go. And now I have 4 stitches left on my needle. I'm going to knit 2. So we started with a knit 2, we end with a knit 2, and then my edge stitch. Slip 1 with yarn in front, knit 1. So we created little star stitches all along, but coming out of the edge of the previous star stitch. See that? All right, and finally row 4 is the same as row 2. And for working flat, we're going to work our edge stitch. So slip 1 with yarn in front, knit 1, and then purl all the way until you have purled all your stitches except the edge stitch, and then work the edge stitch. So purl all the way across. Okay, I'm approaching the last few stitches of my work. I'm just going to keep purling until I have 2 left on my left needle, and then I'm going to slip 1 with yarn in front and then knit the last stitch for my edge stitch. And that's row 4. And that creates this beautiful little star stitch with sort of a diagonal lean to it, because you're working out of the left side of the star stitch to create your next star stitch. So it just kind of keeps going off to the left. And I think that creates a really beautiful little stitch. It's very squishy, very textural. It's really pretty. Also, here are the full written instructions for knitting both flat and in the round. You can take a screenshot of this and save it for your records so that you can practice this stitch on your own. I hope you try it out and let me know if you make anything with this beautiful stitch. Tag me on Instagram at Pattern and Craft if you do. I'd love to see your work. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make the diagonal star stitch for knitting. Don't forget to check the description of the video for any additional information, links to my socials, and links to my pattern shops where I sell different patterns for knitting and crochet. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and if you have any questions, just leave a comment. I'll see you next time, and happy crafting!